Just a few years ago, Solar burst on the scene and it had a plethora of scooters. Entry-level scooters, commuter scooters, okay scooters. Then they had a B scooter, the Solar Hyperion. And now today, we have the new Solar Hyperion RST. Dual 5,000 watt motors, a 72 volt, 40 amp hour Samsung battery, a claimed top speed of 65 to 70 miles per hour to 70 miles of range. Quad piston hydraulic brakes, fully adjustable hydraulic suspension, 11-inch tubeless tires. This is not a commuter, this is a truly hyper scooter. Pew! The unboxing was pretty simple. Here's the box. And inside it was nice and snug. Nothing moved around. It was covered with good cardboard. And then you pull it out, and this is the scooter. Not that much to assemble. They give you an Allen key set. It comes with an 84 volt, 5 amp hour charger. You can expect empty to full in 7 hours. The handlebars on, and you can tighten it up, and you're really ready to go. Oh, and there's also a kickstand. So right out of the box, I thought this handlebar was impressive. So it's about 26 inches and a half. All right, so we want to start from right there, all the way to right here, and that's 41 and a half inches. The width of this is super impressive. Like it's pretty girthy. So it's 11 inches. So for deck space, we have 22, but if you count the footrest, so that's 27 inches. Okay, 127.8. Yeah, this is a heavy motherfucker, man. So right off the bat, I think I need to mention something, because when it comes to acceleration, top speed, hill climbing, everything, all the tests, something needs to be accounted for. And that's the knobby tires. So naturally, the knobby tires are gonna have a little bit more drag when it comes to riding on pavement compared to having 100% street tires. So if you're looking for the fastest you can go, the quickest you can go, I prefer you get the street tires. So let's start off with acceleration. The 0 to 15 miles per hour acceleration was 2.06 seconds, and that's blazing off the line. Even when you compare this to similar scooters like the Huga and the Terrorun 7260R, the 0 to 40 time, it lands dead smack in the middle at 6.54 seconds. That's crazy speed. But unlike the other two, the Solar Hyperion RST was tested with knobby tires. Since I didn't have street tires or the steering dampener, or really enough ground to test it at, the highest top speed I got this thing up to before I ran out of road was 57.5 miles per hour. And that's really impressive. And compared to the first Solar Hyperion, they had a claim spec of 65 miles per hour. Paul got 58 miles per hour. And then on this one, at my weight and my frame, I got 57.5 miles per hour. So I'm sure if you have street tires and enough road, you can kind of get up to 65 miles per hour plus in that area. ESG test hill, it climbed our test hill in 6.73 seconds. And once again, this thing is powerful. If you watch the footage, you can see me ripping off, and it can climb any hill easily. For our braking test, it stopped at 8.7 feet at 3.42 seconds. So that's amazing. So next, let's talk about range. Range. When you get these hyper scooters, the claim route range is drastically shorter. So with this one, I'm gonna take you on a range test and come back with the official numbers, and you guys can see where it ranks amongst other scooters. I'm gonna go on my range test, my first ride on the Solar Hyperion RST. So right off the bat, I'm looking forward to the dual 5,000 watt motors. It has a 72 volt, 40 amp hour battery. Pretty sure I might have to break this range test up because it's evening time. You have to wait till the sun goes down, because after 4 days of straight raining, it was 80, 90 degrees. So I want to make sure I get a battery a fair chance and not overheat it. But as you can see, we have off-road tires. So I wish it would have came with the road tires. You can kind of get the on-road tires if you really want to hit those top speeds. And it also comes with an optional steering dampener that I do not have. So I don't know about the speed test, but I will test it up to 50 miles per hour to see what the acceleration is like, to see where it compares to other top speed scooters. That way we can get a realistic number on what the top speed can actually be. So let's get it started. So right off the bat, I'm a fan of this extra tall stem and handlebars width that's on this RST. And honestly, the cockpit as a whole is real impressive. It's not like I'm having to turn and twist my fingers All the buttons and dials are right in place to where I need them. You got a thumb throttle on this on the right side, and it feels nice. The brake is easy to grab. It's like in a perfect spot. So many times you get scooters, you have to adjust where the brake is positioned at, but they position this right for accelerated riding. And the same on the left. All my buttons are in reach on the left side over here. You got turn signals. You got to switch between dual motor and single motor for modes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so as I'm going down this way, it's a ton of speed bumps. So I wanted to talk about the suspension. So right now where it's set, it's somewhat soft. Like you can see how a little bouncy, and it has a little softness to it. But these are adjustable. And I'm a rider that likes a more firmer suspension because I'm a heavy guy, so I don't want to be bouncing around on the scooter. So, you know, when I pull over, I'll give it a little bit more clicks to up the firmness just a little bit by 25%. I remember a few years ago, you just had to get a scooter, pay a higher price, and it was just basically stopped. But a hyper scooter like this from Solar, you know, they started with the first Hyperion. It just has more customization on a scooter. Oh, and these brakes, amazing. So, you know, sometimes when you ride scooters, you feel like you're in the way, but with the RST, you just fit right in with cars. You know, a top speed of 70 miles per hour is technically highway speeds, but you don't want to do that. I always, when I ride in the street, I want to stick to around 35 miles per hour. You know, just fast enough for street traffic, but not too fast and, you know, break any laws or ride crazy just in case anything, you know, mysterious might happen. It's getting kind of late, the sun is coming down. So, yeah, I've been out here for about, I think, an hour and some change, and it's only down to 75%. And I think I rode about 14, 15 miles. I'll check in a second, but yeah, that's actually pretty good. If you can keep it up at this pace, it'll be true to the 80 miles. All right, so we're back, day 2, mode 5, continuing this range test. So the battery's at 75% right now, but I only went, not only, but I already almost crushed 20 miles. So I'm right next to 20 miles already, so this battery is withholding and standing. Driving fast is not really moving on you. And I don't have the steering dampener on here, so I didn't want to push it those extra 15, 10 miles. But at the same time, where you're going 0 to 55, it's stable. It's not really shaking, it's sturdy, and it's, you know, the turning is a little bit stiff, but I think that's done intentionally to keep you straight up on a scooter. So sometimes when you're going fast, you might get the wobbles, but if the scooter is solid, it stays solid. I'm at an indicated 18% on the battery. I just went over 40, a little bit under 40 miles. A little bit under, I got like a mile and a half to get to 40 miles. So I don't think it's gonna hit the 6 hand fully on the throttle. It is not going over 30 miles per hour. So 12% is where you kind of get that drawback from the Solar Hyperion RST. You have 9%. We can see how long it goes, but for its weight, classic scooter, going over 40 miles is more than enough. And plus, you know, if you're riding this normally, you won't be in mode 5, hitting acceleration as hard as you can, like how I was. If a range test doesn't end with you pushing the scooter, is it even a range test? Because air, power protected. So I'm assuming the battery is dead and that it's overheating, so it's not letting me go no more. It says 7% right here, but it's not letting me drive. So we killed the scooter, and we'll get the official range numbers in a second. The ESG official range is 44.7 miles. That's number 2 that we tested all year. Only behind the Terra Run Fighter Supreme 7260R. I'm gonna tell you right now, I wasn't fighting the scooter the whole time. It was getting comfortable and more comfortable as I rode, and it was nice. Now let's step into the specs and features of the Solar Hyperion RST. Let's start up top. Now, this handlebar width It's really, really nice. So many times when I'm out there riding, I'm not comfortable because it's like either too short or too narrow, but this is a wide handlebar base. So many times when you have a B scooter, the handlebars used to slip a little bit. So that was actually quite dangerous, but it's good to see that they have it really, really, really snug on here. And this thumb throttle, you can ease your way into your acceleration. If you want to pound it, you can really slam on it. So it's nice real control. The brakes is in a great place as well. It really feels comfortable. That was the first thing I said when I was doing my riding impressions, that wow, when I got on the scooter the first time, the handlebars was wide, the grips were tight, the thumb throttle was in a great place, and then the brakes were also in a great place. Everything's all jam-packed in a nice area and it looks nice. And then over here on the left, you hold the top button to turn on your headlights. But once you turn on your headlights, which I don't like as much, but I guess because at nighttime you'll be able to see, but you hold this for a few seconds, you hold the headlight button and it come on and it gives you an indication, but the screen will dim a little bit. So I'm gonna turn it back on so you guys can see. So this is with the headlight off, and when you turn it on, it dims. You have the mode button right here that toggles on dual motor or single motor. So when you press it, you get the dual right there, and then you press it again, you get the single. Everything on this panel is in a great place. The turn signal's right here, so when you're driving, you don't even have to look. You just press the button, and then they turn on. Only thing I wish that was different is when you hit the turn signal button, you have to hit it again to turn it off. So if you hit the left button, it stays on until you hit it to turn it off. And if you hit the right button and the left button at the same time, essentially you have your emergency brakes on. So you have to, hit the button again for it to turn off. Horn, and then, plus and minus. So it's mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, mode 4, mode 5. And you can put it in dual motor to get the highest speed, but also they have a walk mode. So if you hold the minus button for 3 seconds, it'll enter into walk mode. So let me show that to you guys. So yeah, I'm pressing the button and this is walk mode right here. It's a little fast, as you can see. And this is the headlight. Let me show this to you guys. Boom, it cuts on. And they have all these great accents, all this good swag lighting over here. And I'll show my night footage of this as well. And you see this everywhere. So we have the folding mechanism right here. So you just wanna unscrew this and it comes out. But then boom, you can't go back because it's a safety latch on this side. Unscrew this whole thing here. Once it's out, you wanna pull back the safety latch and then drop it down. There's no stem latch here, so when you wanna unfold it, same thing, you pull the pin back and then you unfold it, because if you don't pull a pin back when you do it, it'll get caught right there. So you wanna pull it back as well, push that in there, and then screw this in tight, hard as you can. Let's talk about the bottom of the scooter. You have 11-inch tubeless tires. We have the off-road tires. You can have the option to get the street tires, which I would have preferred because that's where you want to hit your top speed on. If you're not doing too much off-roading, if you're gonna have this thing on the road, I would prefer street tires. It's a thick brake. So it's a quad-piston hydraulic brake. And you can see it just looks real nice. When I was unboxing, the brake was the first thing I noticed. I'm like, wow, that's super high quality. And when you get out there on the road, it works really, really nice. And then right here, you have fully adjustable hydraulic suspension, front and rear. So when I first got on it, it felt like a bouncy board because it was like really bouncing me up and down, pause. But when you really fine tune it, you can kind of adjust it to how you're liking, and that's great. Because really when you have these B-scooters, you might go overtake it off-road. If it's too bouncy, you might crash down too hard. So I like to give it a little bit firmness. I like to click it all the way up to the most firm and then give it 2 notches back. And then that's kind of perfect for me at my weight. Down here is where you can add a steering dampener. So I suggest that if you get in this scooter to go fast, that you have a steering dampener. I didn't get the steering dampener, but if you want to hit those 70 miles per hour top speeds, I suggest that you get the steering dampener with the road tires. So I reached out to the people at Solar to make sure I got this right, because when you have a B-scooter, you want to make sure you're doing the best to keep the battery safe, because that's the one thing I don't see talked about as much is battery health when it comes to hyper scooters, because these things can go out. So they have a few tips. So the Li-ion battery will prefer partial charging and discharge regularly. Every time that you use this, that you keep this charged, because it will drain out a little slowly. I had that with my own personal experience. When I first drove it, I drove it around, but I forgot to charge it back up, and then the battery is a little bit more dead than what it was when I was using it. Always ensure that you have the cap securely on at the end of your ride. So don't leave them open like this. Make sure they're closed. Never jet wash this. You can use a damp cloth and really wipe it down, but you don't want to put too much water on this thing. And if, you know, if you're riding through like the winter or surfaces like this and sand, you kind of want to wipe it down just to keep everything healthy. So, you know, this is a 72 volt, 40 amp hour Samsung battery inside of here. So it's pretty much high performance, but you want to make sure you take care of it. And now while we're down here, let's look at this deck. Now it's not the longest deck at all, but it's pretty wide, pretty girthy. So you can sit your foot right here. You can place it over here. Okay, so you have this steel foot plate right here that you can put your foot on. Like so many times you see these parts on scooters, even on some hyper scooters, part is plastic, but it's great to see that this is really, really hard. I don't know if you guys can hear, let's see. Yeah, but it's really secure and you have that on here, giving you a little bit, about 3 extra inches of deck space. Let's get into the things I like or I didn't like about the scooter, and honestly, who's it for? So the first thing I liked about this scooter is the assembly process. When you get this thing out the box, it's a quick setup. Put the handlebars on, the kickstand, and you're ready to go. No app to fiddle with, no things you really need to screw in, but it comes out the box ready to go and it's working. I like the cockpit. Like, I like the handlebar placement, the brake placement, the thumb throttle, the LCD screen, all of it works in tandem. There's nothing like having a beast scooter and you're feeling real comfortable and you can kind of look at the road rather than look at your hands in the cockpit. And this kind of made me feel that way. I love the suspension. The suspension was quite plus when I first got it. I was bouncing up and down on it, but you can fine tune it to your liking. It's powerful. The 0 to 40, the 0 to 50 times were amazing. This is something you can use as a daily driver. I know hyper scooters are normally meant for weekend fun, but this is pretty cool. I love the range. I thought I was gonna get 30 to 35 miles because I've been experiencing that on beast scooters at my weight, and this thing crushed it. Getting 40 plus miles, I'm dogging it, I'm really driving it fast and really pushing the pedal to the metal, and it withstood the whole time. And it only got killed off around 7%, but I think that was added because I rode on an extra hot day. And my last one, at least, it's a hyper scooter that has some mobility, that you can live with it. Things I didn't like, it's a personal preference. If I can do this over, if they can send it to me again, I would prefer the street tires. I'm a street rider. I would love to see those top speeds and really see if it can get to that 70 miles per hour. I'm not a fan of the battery draw when you turn it off. So when you turn it off, and they tell you themselves that you need to plug this thing in because it will drain the battery little by little. Sometimes you don't have that opportunity to do that. Like, I'm a guy who rides, I put it in my shed, and I like to pop it back out at this percentage I left it at, and that's not gonna happen on a scooter. And last but not least, the LCD screen can be a little bit brighter when riding in the sunlight. That's pretty much it. Who's it for? So this is tricky. So normally hyper scooters are for hyper riders. If you're a speed enthusiast, you wanna ride fast, you wanna ride for longer times, you wanna take this thing off-road, you wanna shred trails, you can use this for that, for sure. But that's the interesting thing about this scooter. Like, I found myself after days and days of riding, I didn't want to treat it like only a hyper scooter. Like, I have a ton of hyper scooters, but none of them I take to do normal tasks. Like, I took this one to go get dog food or get milk for my kid. And it's just something you can live with. Yeah, it's heavy and it's beastly, but it's somewhat nimble at the same time. Like, I can feel like I can curve with this, I can turn with this, and I can kind of maneuver around a bit. And you know, it crushes it through traffic. So it's like, this is not by definition, a daily commuter, but this can be a daily commuter. It's not a hyper scooter / beast scooter that's super taxing to live with. Like, taking a true beast scooter and just doing a 180 can be a task if the scooter is big enough. And I feel like this is powerful enough, but it's nimble as well. So this is the Solar Hyperion RST. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. Is it a true upgrade from the first Solar Hyperion? What you like most about it? And could you see yourself riding this? And we'll have all links and plus any coupon codes we have down in the description. My name is Ramir, and I'll see y'all. And I'm out. Pew!